Hello guys, today I come to you with a pure Dino list that uses G Golems to help extend and build bigger boards for free without the need of any main deck cards that you don't wanna draw, because the whole engine is just these two link monsters. This is the main G Golem card, and it says that whenever it is special summoned from the graveyard, you can either special summon an earth monster from your graveyard or add it to your hand. So when you go first and you're setting up the combo, you use G Golem Crystal Heart to special summon G Golem Menhir from the graveyard. And when he's special summoned, you summon Giant Rex from the graveyard to help you build a bigger board. And whenever Golem special summons a monster from the graveyard, that monster has its effects negated, and it also banishes it when it leaves the field. This is perfect for Giant Rex because if you negate his effect, you can simply use him to attack directly, and also when he gets banished, he just comes right back to the field. And next, on your opponent's turn, after you've set up Spright Elf, IP, usually Lagia, and Tyranno, you use, as soon as they summon a monster, you use Spright Elf to summon back G Golem. G Golem triggers adding back Petite from the graveyard to your hand, and then you use IP with the G Golem to summon out Nightmare Griffin using his Floodgate effect. Now to just quickly go over every card so you can see its name and look it up yourself. We have the two Archosaur, which is part of your combo, searches out Peel. You have Baby, which that is the whole point of Dinos, just pop the baby, summon Dinos, pop more babies, summon more Dinos. And you got Maxi, the standard Master Duel package that needs to be in every single deck. The triple Maxi, triple Ash, and the two Called by the Graves. Yep, Petite. Petite allows you to summon Pankratops from the deck as well. So when you do your combo, you need to make sure that Petite is in your grave, so you can summon him back with either Spright Elf or G Golem. Next you have Rex. Rex was amazing. It's a free body whenever it's special summoned. Next we have Misk, and I do have to ask you, have you read Misk? Because it's a very important card. And you don't want to make any misplays if you didn't read Misk, you know. Next we have Aviraptor, the Searcher. Gets you to any Dino card you want. Token Collector. Token Collector works great with Small World. It allows you to bridge from any monster to any other monster. They all have at least one thing in common with him. And if you also start with Token Collector and Lost World, plus any Dino monster that can summon a token onto the field, Token Collector allows you to full combo with just that. And then we have the Doodle package. Doodle Tyranno is an amazing hand trap, and you do want it in your hand, but it's more of a clutch card. It's not essential, but when you have it and you use it, it comes in very clutch. Doodle Stego and Doodle Book are just used so that you can search Tyranno from the deck and add it to your hand on your opponent's turn and have it ready to go as a hand trap. But these are flag spots. You can cut these two cards for any other card you may want more hand traps or going second cards. Next we have the one Pancratops. Pancratops is an amazing just removal card in general. You can deal with monsters, you can bait out negates, you can deal with floodgates, you can remove like field spells with it. It's amazing. And you can summon it off of Petite, you can summon it off of Peel, you can simply just summon it for free if you go second. And yeah, it needs to be there in every Dino deck. Lithosagim, I've added the True King package, just the 2 cards. You have 3 cards in total with terraforming that searches out Lithosagim, and he's just used to pop the baby. And if you destroy 2 earth monsters with it, you also get to banish 3 cards from your opponent's extra deck. And of course we got the Daddy Tyrannus. You need to play 2 copies for the 2 pills, for the 2 Archosaurs. The second Tyrannus comes in way too clutch many times, so two copies is best. We have the one terraforming that can search out either Pill or the Diagram, depending on what your other cards are. We got Pill, triple Fossil Dig to search out your combo pieces. Small World to also search out your combo pieces, or if you already have your combo pieces, you can instead search out for an Ash and then start comboing, and as soon as they maxi you just have the Ash ready and stop the maxi. Yeah, Diagram Lost World is an amazing, still a combo starter with Avi, and it can help extend if you already have your 2-card combo. Plus it protects from a lot of different hand traps. It protects from Imperum, since as soon as you get a token on the opponent's field, they cannot use any targeting effects. It protects from Lightning Storm because they cannot use it with any cards on the field. It protects from evenly matched because they cannot use evenly from hand if you have cards on the field. Going second, Lost World is amazing at also chain blocking Oviraptor, so that they cannot negate your Oviraptor's effect. And that way you can safely search for either Misk, or you can search for Pancratops. Yeah, and then last cards called by last doodle book. Then we have extra deck monsters. The 2 evils are Lagia Dolka, Bagushka. Bagushka is your plan B. If, for instance, you get maxied immediately, you can just go into Bagushka by giving your opponents 3 cards. You just immediately summon 2 level 4 monsters and make Bagushka. Dugares is amazing when combined with Pentastag and Tyrannus. Dugares, 90% of the time you will be using his third effect, which doubles the effect of Tyrannus to 7000 attack, and you summon Pentastag above Tyrannus, giving Tyrannus piercing damage. Next you have Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh is essential part of the combo. Next you have Secure Gardener. Secure Gardener is used in cases where you only have Pill in hand. You can summon an Archosaur, get Pill, but that's all you can do. Then you link off Archosaur into Linkuriboh and Linkuriboh into Secure Gardener to get both Archosaur and Linkuriboh into the graveyard, so that you have the requirement to summon Tyrannus or maybe Pancratops, depending on the situation. Next we have IP, which we need for our combo. Spright Elf. Spright Elf puts so much work in this deck. Next I have Unicorn. Unicorn is a rank 3 as well for access code, just spins cards away. Nightmare Griffin is the card you go into with IP. Some cases you make a polo, but usually you go into Nightmare Griffin and use his floodgate effect to stop your opponent from making plays. Whenever Griffin is on the field, special summon monsters on the field cannot activate their effects unless they are linked. Next we have Apollo and access code. Both are access code is amazing going second. The G Golems allow you to link climb for free and make summoning access code extremely easy. And also Apollo, in some cases maybe they disrupt your combo and they stop it, so you just link out everything into Apollo and summon a Tyranno under it. And the beauty of this deck is that you have a lot of flex spots, a lot more than with scrap dinos. So you could just replace those cards with more hand traps, maybe more consistency cards, maybe cards to help you go second. Once we do get 3 Oviraptors on the 10th of April, you can simply cut 1 small world for them. You can also, once we get 3 Oviraptors as well, you can cut all 3 small worlds and instead add the 1 copy of Pot of Prosperity. Because you don't have small world anymore, you also don't need token collector. Once we get Tearlaments into the game, this will probably be the best version of Dinos to play, mostly because you have a lot of extra deck space to add cards to counter Tearlaments. Okay, so here we have a going first replay where you clearly see how the 2-card combo works, how you set up the field, how the G Golems interact. Yeah, so we start by discarding Misk, which special summon the Archosaur. Archosaur pops the baby, which searches Spill. He attempts to Droll and lock us, but we do have the Hold by to stop that. Usually this would be an Ash or a Maxi, so you just hold by that as well. Next, the baby has been popped, it summons the Oviraptor. Oviraptor effects adds Petite to hand, which you can simply normal summon, because you didn't normal summon yet. Here, once you get to this point, you start with the G Golems. All you need is Animadorant for the Linkuriboh and 2 Earth Monsters. If you have drawn into Stego, you would have already special summoned Stego for free by this point, and you would have used Stego plus Giant Rex to make the G Golems. Or if you have Lithosagem, he's also Earth type, you just use him for the G Golem, and it's all the same. So you link these 2 out into the G Golem Stubborn Man here. Now that they are both Cyber Sea monsters, both Linkuriboh and the G Golem, you can make the Crystal Heart. Now Crystal Heart activates, summons back the G Golem, and G Golem activates, summons back the Giant Rex. You link out the 2 G Golems into Spright Elf summons back Baby, and you use that to make an IP. And you always make sure to summon IP into the middle spot, so that when you get Griffin onto the field with that IP, you have all the link zones available, as many as you can. You need to make sure that you summon your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, your Pancratops, and your Lagia into one of the 3 zones that you have link arrows pointing to. So here, because Giant Rex was removed due to G Golem's effect, he gets banished and comes right back. You use Spill, summon Tyranno here as well. You summon it under Spright Elf, so that he is untargetable as well. Now here we see that he's spraying Spright. The deal with Spright is if you just stop their first normal summon and they don't have any level 2 monsters on the field after that, they cannot special summon any Spright monsters from their hand. Here you've seen as soon as a monster is summoned onto the opponent's field, Spright Elf is capable of summoning back the G Golem, and whenever G Golem is special summoned from the graveyard, you can either special summon or add to hand. In this case, we add the Petite to hand so that we can use the Tyranno to pop the Petite and special summon Pancratops. Next, we use the IP Masquerena with the G Golem to make Griffin. And now this is the final board we have. Tyranno flip face down, a Solemn Judgment on legs, a Floodgate that they need link monsters on the field to play around, and Pancratops, which can just pop any card on the field if you so need it to. Griffin, also when he is summoned, you can discard a card to set a card from the graveyard. In this case, I have drawn into Doodle Book, and you do not want to have Doodle Book in your hand. You always need to get it into the graveyard as fast as possible. Either you usually do it with the Stego effect, because Stego, as soon as it adds it, you can also just discard it immediately. Or in this case, I'm using Griffin effect to discard it and set a spell trap in my graveyard back onto my field. Here I just set a pill for next turn. Usually a better target would be Fossil Dick if you have used it during the turn. Here, yeah, the Spright player, he managed to get another level 2 monster on the field, which I had to clear with Pancratops, and he also still had a normal summon. Yeah, anyway, I was expecting him to, once he normal summoned the Jet, I was out of ways to remove more cards. I could have negated the summon of Jet, but I just figured I would let him go into Spright Elf, because without any link monsters on the field, he cannot use any Spright effects because of Griffin anyways. So I was just waiting with the Lucky effect for him to summon Spright Elf so that I could simply negate the summon. That would be it. But he summoned the rank 2 for some reason. Yeah. Okay. Here we have a replay against Flounder. Flounder is usually a very bad matchup, but luckily for me, my opponent didn't open with map, continuous spell, and whatever else Flounder player open with. It summons Empen and sets 2. Now I know one of them is Dreaming Town because he did search for it. Here, my plan is to summon Archizor, use its effect, and then tribute over the Archizor for Tyranno to destroy the Empen. Because Tyranno gets normal summoned, not special summoned, he plays around Empen's Floodgate effect. Here on the summon of Archosaur, he flips up infinite impermanence, which is perfect because I was planning on summoning Tyranno anyway, and now I can use Tyranno to dodge the Imperum by tributing the Archosaur. He flips up Dreaming Town as well, summons Egglen. I tribute summon with Tyranno, summon a token on the field, and my Archosaur triggers his effect and discards, pops the baby, and I get Pill. Here, since I have summoned the token collector activates and gets to special summon itself. I do have Big Chain, first baby, which is a mandatory effect, then my optional monster pop effect, and last but not least, token collector activates because of the baby's token summon. Now here, Egglen resolves and he gets to tribute over my token for the Mist Valley Avian. So now when token collector attempts to destroy the token, there is no token to destroy and I cannot protect it with Lost World. Now he also chains the trap card here, the Dreaming Town, and flips all of my monsters face down, which is not ideal. I do, however, just simply get to search for Tyranno. I didn't have any non-Dino monsters in the graveyard, so I couldn't use Pill. So searching Tyranno there was my only option to getting him on the field. And I simply attack over his negate. He summons Rubina, goes into Egglen, and I flip them face down because as soon as he summons Empan, I won't be able to use the effect anyway. And this way I can at least get the token collector back into the graveyard and he's ready for round 2. Here he summons Empan and adds the map this time. And simply ends on Empan. Don't know if he could have done more there or not, but well, it is my turn now. And I do go for Pill first, trying to play around the normal summon, but my Pill gets ashed. So I am forced to normal summon here and triggering his map. But lucky for me, he only has one monster in the hand and the map doesn't trigger, must not be the right monster. I get the token collector and the Oviraptor search. And because the token was summoned, token collector comes back and pops the token, allowing me to go straight into Pancratops in defense position, and I use Pancratops to pop the second Egglen. And now I am free to combo off without any worries for... yeah, here I had to make space so I could Misc effect for 1, summon Archosaur and add Pill. Now at this point I realize that I have already used Pill this turn and I cannot use it again. So I cannot get to Tyranno because I already used Oviraptor search. So I'm a little struggling here. I do get the summon, but I realize that I could simply make the G Golems. I used 2 Cyber Sea monsters to make the Water G Golem, then I used 2 Earth monsters to make the Water G Golem. So I linked them both into Spright Elf, and now Spright Elf, since he has a monster on the field, can special summon the Water G Golem. Water G Golem special summons the Earth G Golem, and Earth G Golem special summons Giant Rex. I link those 2 off for Unicorn, discarding the Pill, and since Giant Rex got banished because of G Golem, he comes right back and I have 2 level 4s plus access code. I can summon access code for 4800 attack, and I summon Dugares as well with the 2 level 4s, boosting access code to over 9000 and attacking for game. Okay, looking good so far. We are going first with our 2-card combo in hand. We started off with Archosaur. Here, yep, we got shut down immediately by the Infinite Impermanence, and he also chains Maxi. Now, I could have played around the Infinite Impermanence if I have only used Small World to grab Misk first, and I do have the Cold Buy for the Maxi. But since I didn't get Misk first, I cannot prevent this this Infinite Impermanence, and he basically shuts me down right here. I could use Cold Buy on the Misk, but that would just allow me to like link summon into Linkuriboh, but that doesn't really do anything. So I decide to simply set the Cold Buy here and end the turn. I do not have any other plays. And I pass it on to him. And I'm just spraying here that this Cold Buy will be enough to stop something important and not have me die to an OTK. He is playing Despia. And lucky for me, he did not open with Branded Fusion. I do get to Cold Buy here to stop the Dramaturge from special summoning on the field and saving some of my life points from this attack. He attacks for 2500 and passes it back. Now I'm only on 4000 life points with the tax collector on the field. But I do have the Tyrannus, and I top deck, and he tries to imperm me again, and I chain Tyrannus to tribute over the Oviraptor and destroy the token, the tax collector. I get to add Misk with the Oviraptor effect. I destroy the tax collector, but he has the branded opening in the graveyard, which protects him. So I just need to keep going with my combo now. My next out is Tyrannus. I get the pill, get the last baby effect. I link off into Linkuriboh. Luckily this does not trigger any effect, so I do not pay any life points for this. I get the 2 materials into the graveyard for pill, and with the last 600 life points available, I pay for the pill and summon Tyrannus and destroy the guy. Here he summons more monsters back, and I couldn't. He negated my my conductor's effect with Alubar, so I couldn't attack all of his monsters. And here he makes a big misplay by attacking into Secure Gardener, which stops whenever the first time when I would take battle or effect damage, I take no damage. So, classic Spright combo, he is using the Dark Beckoning Beast as an engine to get level 2s on the field. But we do start with Diagram here first. Diagram, he tries to negate it, but he negates the wrong effect. Diagram effect pops the baby, which adds Lithosagam, and he uses Spright red to negate the baby. Here he tries to Spright Elf, And I have the cold bite to stop his jet from coming back and setting up starter for next turn. And I can discard Misk. I use Oviraptor effect here to summon a baby on the field. And he decides to go into White Woman with my baby so that I cannot pop it. I still get to Misk for 2 however and use Lithosagam to summon him, but I realized that without 2 babies popped there, I cannot continue my combo. And I simply summon a Misk for next turn from the deck. Gets 2 Reckoning Beast, which just links off into Mannequin Kid. Mannequin Cat brings back my baby, which I mean I just gives him a token and he gets Spright Elf here, but then Spright Elf from here, man, he can do a lot. Summons back blue, adds Jet, Jet is negated because of the cold bite from last turn, but he goes into Spright. Gigantic Spright summons Swap Frog, and he just has the full combo here. The full Spright, everything that they can do. Summons Cat Shark as well, which doubles the attack. Or no, it bounces, but it needs to target to bounce. Yeah, it doubles the attack. He wanted to double the attack of Gigantic Spright, but he cannot target with the token on the field, thanks to Lost World. Now he clears my monsters and then his turn. And he also cleared my Doodle Book, so I can banish it and simply add Conductor to hand. And since I did summon that Misk last turn, I can banish it for 4. Go directly into Oviraptor. Oviraptor brings back a baby, but he negates it. So I just summon Archizor, destroy the baby to get Pill. I link off Archizor into Linkuriba so that I can banish it for Pill. I summon 1 Tyrano. I summon 2 Tyrano and just go battle phase. Attack into the first 0 attack monster and into the second one. That's game. Here we have a perfect example of how to deal with Eldlich, back row, floodgates. We do start with Pancratops, and that's what we need. I do go first here, but I do not have anything. Already have Pill in hand. So the Archizor is useless anyway. So I link it off into Secure Gardener. And I use Pill to summon Tyrano, and I simply pass on Tyrano. Now, my opponent, first card he uses, well, evenly matched. I keep the Tyrano on the field, of course. Now he tries to search here, but I do stop the search. However, he already has Eldlich in hand. And removes my Tyrano with it. And brings it back. But that is good for me, because now I can summon Pancratops. And I can have him ready to destroy any floodgates he might have. He flips up the Lord of Heavenly Prison as well. Hukagero sets the Eldlixir, and he passes turn. And I just get the perfect top deck here. First I special summon the Pancratops, and then I use Diagram to pop the baby. Search for Lita. and I get Oviraptor. Oviraptor, he hits me with the skill drain, but I do have the Pancratops already ready to go. I just chain it to the skill drain, and skill drain never even resolves. I add the Misk. He gets the Lord of Heavenly Prisons to special summon. I discard the Misk. And now, Misk effect, summons Baby, uses Conquistador, tries to destroy my Oviraptor, but well, he did not read Misk. And I have 2 words now. I use the Lithosagam, pops another baby. Archosaur effect gets me to peel. And now I can peel, banishing the Giant Rex, getting out Tyranno. And I simply link out both Archosaur and Giant Rex into Pentastack, giving my Tyranno piercing. And I can do some damage here. First Eldlich, activate the Tyranno as well. Here I use piercing for 700 more damage. And I do know he has the Sanguine face down, so I force it out first with the Lithosagam effect, giving me exactly enough attack points to finish him off. Well, you've reached the end of the video. If you want to see more Dino gameplay, you should definitely check out my Twitch, where I basically just play Dinos all day long. So give me a follow there, and I'll see you next time.